I have found that chapel services are something that you just can't rush into. Most sports have not really accepted you as a person, so having a chapel service doesn't fit their kind of mould. But until you actually establish yourself, can you actually start up a chapel service that will suit them. Lots of them want to know more about the scriptures, or there's others who are just being inquisitive to find out what you're on about. So what I've done for my chapel services, it would be to take it to the driver's briefing, that I have the opportunity of addressing all the drivers. So I've taken a short 3-minute stint with the drivers at the end of their briefing, which gives me the opportunity to be able to just speak to them for a few moments and then pray for them. The structure of that would be that I just take one word and develop that so that it leaves them with some thought for the day. It may be just a word about trust and being trustworthy themselves. It may be about their fears of today, tomorrow, their fears about a mechanical failure, which is their biggest fear in motor racing, and to talk about their fears and to pray for their fears right then. At one day I spoke about a guy who said his life was like a turtle on a fence post. I left them with that, and that was quite something for them to think about. And when you stop to think about that, the turtle didn't get there by himself. And getting them to appreciate all the people around them as well as God, because he's also there to give him some thought. And also, it's a long way to the ground for the old turtle too. So he gets there are times when we fall from our position, and we've got to be careful in how we handle that. So I apply that to Christian principles. Then to pray for them. They all like me to pray for every category that they're in, their officials, their families, and I pray for them before they go motor racing. So the structure of my prayer too has to be well thought out. I need to give credit to God who he is, and call him by his special names, and show that we respect him, and then also to ask for his blessing upon all the things that are happening around the racetrack, and for safety as they go racing.
Sports chapel is a very unique animal. It's not something that's patterned on a church service. It's not something that you can say, well, this is the only way you can do it. What I do is one way perhaps to do it, and it was born out of the desire of players themselves. The players are the ones who have directed chapel. I've asked them what they want in chapel. So we don't have a church service. We have something that feeds their preparation for the game, so we're not interfering with the coach. It gives them something to relax with, so I tell a joke. It gives them something to think about for the game, so I try and give them a positive idea related to basketball that they can think about or focus on for their energy for the game and in preparation. And within the context of all of that, I try and give them something to think about from the Lord. That's the opportunity. It's a seed planting thing for the most part, and a support thing for the guys who know the Lord. The format that we use is a 10-minute format. I ask one of the players to open in prayer. Only a Christian will open in prayer. I don't threaten the other guys with that time of prayer. Then I go through 5 PowerPoints. I give them some scripture to think about, and I close in prayer. In that closing prayer, I support the players by praying for their health in the game, by praying that they will play well. I pray for a win to support them because it is their job, and I pray that the refs will call a fair game. That's all seen as support for the players. I try not to go beyond that and bring in a big, heavy Bible study agenda, because that would put off the fellows who are just learning about the Lord and the things of the Lord. I try and let the chapel become a platform from which to do other things with fellows, whether they're Christians or non-Christians. And I just take the opportunities as they come. Chapel is a great opportunity. We wouldn't have this opportunity if it wasn't for players who wanted it. I can't emphasize that enough, because if you try and force it, you're going to be seen as a person who's jamming religion down people's throats, and that's going to get chaplaincy nowhere, and the opportunities will be lost. So you have to hang in there, be patient, and when you find some guys who are willing to spend that amount of time before their event, then you can run with it and bring some very good opportunities for the Lord, claim them for the Lord, so that these guys can be supported if they're Christians, or they can be won into the kingdom if they're not Christians. It's a great opportunity. 6 seasons has allowed me to see a lot of the possibilities, and it is a worthwhile thing if you can get the opportunity with the team.